Hi, everyone, and welcome back to those of you who have explored with me in the first two videos. For those of you who are new, my name's Lori, and in 2 words, I left New York City for a small farm in Bulgaria, and I'm really just recording my new life. Yeah, honestly, I really just want to jump right in. I don't want to make a super long intro, so let's just get going. Welcome all to A Village Lost in Time, Part 3. I hope you enjoy. Okay, and uptown we go. This house recently fell, unfortunately. So again, the current store. And what's nice is they are renovating it, see? Slowly but surely. There is some hope. This house used to have this family that used to live here. Now it's abandoned. However, I am seeing that they did something to the roof. It's like a temporary roof they put there, so I guess they do come back. This over here, let me show you, is one of the old stores. So back in the day, there were more stores. It wasn't just one, or plus the socialist one too. There were a few. This was like, we call it a stole, basically, where you'd come, have a drink, eat, but this is what's left. Here you can see the interior of the houses. This one has coating, obviously, because it's been renovated probably like 50 years ago. However, it's on its way. This direction, we're going towards the upper village. But that's a whole nother video. This was one of the nicer houses in the village back in the day. You can see they actually have some decorations. But unfortunately, this one is too coming down. I always want to try and keep that. I want to keep this house alive, but I can't do it on my own. A good friend of ours lives here. So you can see this house is kept up. This is called Shipka. I'll have to translate it. Of course, rosehip. Rosehip. This is how it grows for those of you who haven't seen them before. That's another thing. We have tons of herbs and spices and all sorts of witchcraft over here that you can use for everything, really, from sicknesses to beauty secrets and so on. All right, so you may be wondering why I stopped on this house, and the reason is this is my childhood house, meaning it's my grandfather's house. This is where I would come every summer. This is where I grew up, really, over the summer. When he passed away, it became just a jungle. I'm in America. I wasn't able to take care of it, and then luckily I found someone who is keeping it up to date, living in it, simply against taking care of it. That's all I need. So I think we both are happy with our deal. He's keeping this up here in the summer is beautiful. We're actually famous across our village, if you could say famous. Very well known for our grapes. My grandfather, I will say, in my opinion, and in many people's opinion, has the best grapes in the village. We made karakia out of it, wine, and just for consummation. They're so good. Anyway, our neighbors live here. They haven't really come for a while, but the house stands. And now this is the old school. This is actually where my grandfather went to school. We have a couple people in the village who went to this school and are still alive. Pretty young, actually, I will say. Some of them are actually in like their 40s. So It's not that long ago when it was functional. Again, my house over here, we used to take care of bees. You can see there's a couple of hives, or however you say it again in English, kosheri, a couple of them still here, but it's not what it used to be. I see that the person living here now, you know, he's made a little farm. Over there you see some onions. I see some lettuce. It's good. But this used to be a very lively house. My grandfather, my grandmother, all of us. All right. Nostalgia. Now, this school has lots of memories, even for me, though I've never studied here, clearly. It was pretty much in this position since I've been born, with the exception that it had a roof. So we would, all of the kids, we'd go in there, sneaking from the grandparents, who would want to kill us because it's dangerous. And yeah, we'd go in there and make ourselves lunch. I remember I would bring my soup over there. We have a very traditional Bulgarian tripe soup. I'll make a whole separate video on that. I would bring it up there, eat it, and just pretend like I was living back in the day, until a grandma would come yelling at you from somewhere. How they would see us? Well, how? I mean, there's only so many people here, so they'd hear us. We'd also go in at night, which was very spooky, very exciting. But now it's even more dangerous than before. I went in last year and it's scary. You take a step and things fall. I'm gonna try to go in again, but it's probably gonna be one of the few last times. And here is our current house. Here we're continuing our walk. It's just a bit later in the day. It's about 5 o'clock now. Took a little rest at lunch. We're under construction, as you can see. We made a fortress. Here this says Църква Свети Константин и Елена, and that translates to the church, Church Svetي Constantine and Helena, which is this way. We'll go see it. Here you can see a close-up of how the houses are built. See? The wood slab I was talking about before, to help against earthquakes. Actually, you'll see it really well in this house. There's so many people today. This house is almost abandoned. Not entirely. Here you go. So you see the piece of wood? Also up there you can see that they go diagonal as well. Otherwise, all of this, stone by stone, was built by hand. This is an interesting thing to talk about. This that you see here is an old bathroom. Yep. The way it worked. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Can't see it too well, but there was a hole at the bottom, and literally your business falls straight down onto the ground. So we don't use those anymore, thank God, but that's something cool I thought to mention. You can see the sunset. Over that way is the path to the river, also to the graveyard. We'll go see that later. But in this direction, here. It's a great example. See, 1, 2, 3 wooden grates. This is one of my favorite houses in the whole village, or at least it was. this is very interesting. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna zoom. Here we go. So what does this look like to you guys? It's literally, what do you call it in English again? Why am I blanking on the English words? This is what we call a gurne, which is a clay pot that people back in the day would hide into their walls, full of treasure, gold coins, whatever the family has, as a form of, as a bank. It was a banking system, and only they would know where their gurne is. And when they needed it, this one has obviously been broken. Now we don't know if it's been broken by the family or if someone found it after the house has been abandoned, but it's something very cool to take note of. You could actually go inside from over here. So the way we would enter it, there was a staircase right over there. There was actually a wasp nest. So we would jump over the wasp nest, or, you know, squeeze our way through, go upstairs, and there was this room over here, which you could not tell that it was a room. It was, it had wallpaper over the door, so it just looked like a wall. And at one point I leaned on it and I felt that there was something, you know, it moved a little bit. We realized it's a door. So we basically were the first people to open that room in, I don't know, like probably 50 years, if not more. There was nothing in the room. There was just a really creepy bed with something that looked like a person. We really thought that we discovered a person dead in the house. It smelled really bad too, like old hair. But it turned out it was just a bunch of dirty sheets wrapped in a way that looked like a person. Sounds like there's something in here. Yep, I can smell it. I think they're watching animals in here now. Can't really see it. Yep, there's definitely animals in here. Let's see if I can get some light. Here we go. Let's see who's in here. Oh, oh my God, you scared me. It's a donkey. Hi. Okay, there's surprises at every corner. Hi. And don't worry, guys, this donkey does not live here all the time. Here, you can even see. They just took him in now because it's getting late, so the jackals don't attack him. Here, all of his gear. All right, go enjoy your food. Surprises at every corner. Oh, there's a Christmas toy. Oh, it's a nice one. I'm taking it. Okay, let's keep going. I think what else? Oh, there was also a mirror, I should mention. Got distracted. There was a mirror in this room. So when we pushed open that door, you know, the locked room, and we see this, you know, what looks like a person in a bed. And then on top of it, I turn around, there's a mirror, so you can imagine. We got a little spooked. I kept thinking I was seeing ghosts at every corner. Okay. Now, the village ends over there. The church is over there. And continues over there. So, I'm actually going to show you the end of the village and then continue, because it's beautiful. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the village. There's a little old lady who lives here all by herself with her chickens and her little dog. Takes her for a walk. Every day. Здравейте. Okay. Here you can see a good example of how the houses were built. Again, the stone, the wood slab, and on here you can actually see the clay that they would make. See, it's literally dirt, rocks, and water, but look how it holds. Again, these houses are 200 years old, and it's holding. I mean, the roof is falling, of course, but the roof, if the roof is secure, the whole house is secure. That's the saying we have over here. You can see the thatch as well. And the only reason the roof can fall is if basically when it rains, the stone slabs on the top move over time, right? And when it rains, if the water drips through it and there's no one there to catch the drop, that's what we refer to, catching the drop, then it starts leaking over and over again onto the wooden grates, which actually you'll see here because this house fell last year. Let me show you the wooden grates. I hope I'm not confusing the words. When you come to another country, you live here for so long, you start forgetting even a language that you speak perfectly. Okay, you see the wooden grates over there? So if the water keeps dripping over the years, clearly it weakens, falls, and that's what makes the roof come crashing down. Once the roof crashes, the house is over. So again, this was a very cool house. I used to love this one. Unfortunately, it fell about a year ago. That's all that's left. Here you can actually see where the water damage has occurred. And now what's that again, guys? The bathroom. That's right, the toilet. Here, let's see if the hole is still on the bottom. No, they closed it, but you get the idea. Dirty business. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. We pretty much saw all of Uptown. There are a couple more nooks and crannies that we can take, but that kind of, now we're going into like west side, east side. So we're going to keep this as the Uptown section. Again, my video got a little bit longer than I had anticipated. There is just so much more to see. I'm actually kind of shocked because I always look at my village, I'm like, wow, it's so small. But now while I'm filming, there is so much more. It's just crazy. We still have to see the old church. I'm going to bring you guys inside, but for that we have to get special access and all that. So I haven't gotten to that point yet, but that will be something to look forward to in the future for those of you who are interested. We have to see the river. We have to, well, I mean, we saw it a little bit in part 1, but there's a lot more to see in terms of all the little spots in the river where we go swimming. There's a lot of history. There's something called Momminkammak, which translates to Maiden Rock. The reason for the name is because a girl, actually by legend, threw herself from that rock during the time of Turkish occupation. So just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here, there is also an old bunker here, which I believe is from World War I. I'm getting a little bit of conflicting information. I've been asking around. Some are saying it's from World War I. Some are telling me it's from the Balkan Wars. So I'm going to do a bit more research, but it is definitely something that is very interesting. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I just wanted to give you a sneak peek. For now, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I truly hope you're enjoying. If you are, if you could like and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. This way I can keep these videos coming. And yeah, thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you next time at A Village Lost in Time, Part 4.